So let's talk about watching film. Now, with the season begun and everyone's doing their thing, one of the things that's going to be happening is you're going to be watching film. And we're talking about players right now. We can also talk a little bit later in the video about what coaches do when they watch film. But let's talk about as a player. When you're watching film, when you're watching yourself play, one of the things you want to do, and it's massively important, is you want to first stop the tape when your opponent is attacking. Because let's talk defense first. When the opponent is attacking, stop the tape and then look at what you're doing. Look at everyone on the floor. Are you guys in a low position, athletic position, good body position to play a hard struck ball or react to a tip or roll? What ends up happening in a lot of these situations, you'll notice that people are standing up, people aren't really doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're in the wrong spot. And those things can teach you what you need to improve on. All right, when the outside hitter is striking the ball, we've stopped it. I'm in the wrong position. I got to make sure I'm here. Or, wow, I'm standing up. I need to be really nice and low. So that's one thing. The other thing, too, is do it for each attacker. All right, when the middle's attacking the ball, stop the tape. Where am I supposed to be? Am I low and ready to go? Same thing on the right side, back row, whatever it may be. Stop the tape on contact of the opponent and see what you're supposed to be doing. Meanwhile, another way to do it is to stop the tape when the ball is in the setter's hands. So if the ball's in the setter's hands, am I in the right spot? Am I ready to do my approach? Am I loaded as a blocker? So if the opponent setter has the ball in her hands, hey, are we loaded and ready to go at the net, or are we standing up? Because remember, we want to be in an athletic position, almost in a sitting position at the block, so that we don't have to waste time. One of the things that happens in volleyball a lot is it happens very quickly. So if it takes time for you to start standing up, then bend your knees and then go, you've lost seconds and you might not be able to close the block in time. You might not get the block through on time. Goal is to have our hands as far through as possible on contact. So if you're standing up, it's you're losing time. So start loaded. If you're a setter, one of the things you want to do is see where you're taking the ball. Stop the ball when stop the tape when the ball is in your hands. And where are you grabbing that ball? Is it above your head on your forehead, or is it below your chin? Is it near your chest? Is it off to one side of your head, to the other? We want to try to take the ball center if we can, but certainly that doesn't happen all the time based on the way the ball's passed, where it's coming from. There's multitude of situations. So again, just trying to improve and trying to consistently look like you're setting the same ball anywhere, right? So if I'm coming in, I stop the tape and I know that, the finish of this ball is to the right side, but I'm showing it big. Like I have a big curve in my back and my hands are already moving backwards. Opponents are going to see that and say, look, anytime has a big arch in her back and her hands are up higher, ball's going to the right side, and we know, so you can set the block. Or another tell that happens a lot is that when the ball's being set to either pin, there's a big push, hands come down and then launch. But when we're set in the middle, we keep our hands high and we just sort of tap it. That's another tell. Hey, those hands are high. It's going middle. You want to make it look like no one knows which ball you're going to set. The example that Coach Garapi used to use at Johnson & Wales, and of course, Coach Garapi is now in North Kingstown High School, very successful, is just like if you watch pitchers in baseball and softball. Every pitch, they have probably 5 different pitches: fastball, curveball, some sort of a off-speed ephus. I don't know if people throw the ephus pitch anymore, but that was always my favorite. My dad used to talk about it all the time. But anyway, they have four pitches, 5 pitches, but every pitch looks the same coming out of the windup. Same with your sets. You want every set to look the same coming out so that the opponents can't sit on something and say, hey, I know where that is. We'll get them. Serve receive the same way. Like, hey, let's stop the tape when the server's serving the ball. Okay. Do we have our seams right? Do we know what our plan is? And everybody has a different plan on how they handle, quite frankly, everything in volleyball. But on serve receive, I have a plan based on seams and spacing between the server and the first passer and all that fun stuff. are we communicating there? Do we know what we're doing? You can see it happening, and you can stop the tape and see like who's got what's happening there. So those are ways to watch video and watch yourself play. And of course, enjoy the bombs and the wonderful things that you do, cool sets, big bomb down the line. Like, yeah, we want to show that off and understand that that's pretty cool and enjoy it. But you're still fine tuning your game and you're fine tuning your team. So you want to work on the things and notice the things that are going to help you get better. And if you're a coach watching film, I've talked about it before. Have a vision of what you're supposed to look like, what you're trying to do in your system, and then stop it on hands every time. Right, every rally, stop on when the ball's in the setter's hands for the opponent and yourself, and look at the whole map. Is it the vision that you're trying to accomplish? Is everyone on the right step for approaches? Do we have our attackers, whatever your system might be? I'm always trying to get 4 attackers and 3 blockers. When they have the ball, stop the tape on the setter's hands. Are we in the right spots? Are we where we're supposed to be? Are we loaded and ready to go? On serve receive, are we in the right spots? Do we have the right idea and plan going forward? But that's how you watch tape. It's taken me a long time to figure it out. I used to be one of those people that love to watch tape and then not really get anything accomplished, because you're fans of volleyball. That's why you play it too. You love it. So you're watching it and enjoying it and going, oh, this is great. But if you're watching it to try to get better, those are some of the things that you want to do. Stop the tape often, see where you're at, see if you're doing the things that are supposed to be done the way you want them to be if you're a coach, and if, quite frankly, the way you want them to be if you're a player. And then that allows you, when you get into the training gym and the practice gym, to work on those things, because now you know what it's supposed to look like. You know what you need personally to figure out, and coach what what your team needs to work on, and then you can just keep highlighting and highlighting. But that's the value of watching tape, and almost everyone should do it. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you when I see you.